Hey guys, this is 4th and 21, a Bears podcast by Bears fans. I'm Arturo and this is Alex. Do us a solid and hit the subscribe button below so you can check out our next videos. Thanks, and let's get to it. I'm going to start off with a couple shots of just some, Seagram 7 just to get things rolling a little bit. So, finally, now that sports are coming back, it's easier to talk about because before it was kind of painful just talking about what could be, not knowing when it was going to happen and whatnot. So at least now we know sports are coming back. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking about it.
Bear down.
So what are we starting off with today?
Most anticipated game.
All right, yeah.
So, my most anticipated game of this season is going to be the Saints at the Bears. Last year, they kind of put a whooping on us, 36-25, and I'm really hoping for redemption. I'm a little concerned, though, because last year they beat us pretty badly, and they didn't even have Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater did that to us, which we also get to see against the Panthers. So I'm excited to see how he does on a different team.
Transition, yeah.
Because anyone, I think, can succeed with the New Orleans offense. So
yeah.
So first, I want to look at where we're playing them in the season. So November 1st. It's not too cold, but it could be a chilly game. That could be a really big thing for us because the Superdome, obviously,
it's controlled.
Yeah, it's a controlled environment. You don't have to worry about it being cold. So I'm also thinking if the season does get pushed back a couple weeks, then we're looking at November 15th, where it could definitely be a little chillier in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
The winds start moving up. Drew Brees, like we said, plays in the Superdome. There's no wind there.
Not like he can adapt, but it would definitely help us
Exactly.
to have him in that position.
Exactly. And they do have a good running game as well with Alvin Kamara, but obviously they're a passing team. So I think where we play them is hopefully a benefit to us. And then I'm also looking at last year and who they lost to in the playoffs in the wild card round. They were a great team last year.
Oh, yeah.
Lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Vikings. And
Credit to the Vikings, though.
Credit to the Vikings, but what made them beat New Orleans? They were a top 5 defense last year. They were 5th-ranked defense according to Pro Football Reference. So if the Bears can be a top 5 defense, Kirk Cousins, I'm sorry, I don't think he's that great.
No.
I think if Nick Foles is starting, Nick Foles can play up to Kirk Cousins' ability. They do have a much stronger running game than us with Dalvin Cook, but I'm looking for a breakout year this year from David Montgomery that could hopefully help. So yeah, that's the game that I'm most looking forward to this season. What about you?
For me, it's going to be Week 5 against Tom Brady and his new Buck team.
Everyone's shocked.
Yeah, I mean...
No one else is looking forward to that game.
No, but for me, it's on both ends. Everyone's excited, and I'm not nervous, but kind of curious as to what it's going to be like in Tampa Bay. He doesn't have Belichick, which
it's all speculation
at
this point.
Big part of why he's as good as he was.
Yeah.
Got Gronk there, He's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, who had a pretty decent year.
O.J. Howard's, he's an up-and-coming tight end for sure.
They keep not putting him in the conversation, but he's up there. If they can hold it together by Week 5, then I think it's going to be a showing part on us that we need to come up and show up and do our job. And if they're still looking at that stuff, trying to figure their team out, at least we know it's still good players that we're playing against. We're not playing against some third-string team.
It's not the Giants.
We're playing real players that have been in the league, been in playoffs, know how to play, know how to finish games. And like you said, Montgomery's, showed a lot. Hopefully he's going to get a lot more touches this year. He's fast. He's strong. He plows through. He does not go down.
No, it keeps those legs moving for sure.
That takes pressure off of either Foles or Trubisky not having to do that. I don't want us to get to the point where we just run as much as we can and they know when we're going to run. Like last year we were
very predictable.
Every predictable thing we could have done. So by Week 5, we're at that position where we've played, 4 games. They're at that position. They've played games. It's going to come down to where are both of our teams at that week. And either way, it's going to be a showing of
Yeah.
what our team can do for the rest of the season. And by that point, we'll know, 4 weeks later when they face off against the Saints.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that game.
I'm pretty happy that we're playing them earlier in the season as well. I mean, it would be nice to see Tampa Bay in Chicago when it's cold.
Yeah.
However, it's also going to be where they're still figuring their team out.
And also, Brady
they're not
knows how to play in the snow.
He does, but the rest of the team doesn't.
No.
So, I mean, I'm just thinking, early weeks, they're still going to be figuring out the team. They're still going to be seeing what works, what doesn't. So, I think that could be a benefit to us. But I do think it's going to be an exciting game regardless. And It is Thursday night, so it is a national game. So, hopefully, Bears do play really well in national games. And Tampa Bay is known for the last, 10 years having, I think, the fewest national games. So, they're probably not used to the spotlight. So yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about our favorite ads in the offseason, defensively and offensively. I'm going to start with my defensive player, and I know a lot of people are probably expecting me to pick Robert Quinn. I'm not going to do that. I'm going with Ladarius Mack. I'm totally kidding. No.
Okay. No, speak your truth.
Undrafted. No. I actually think it's going to be Tashaun Gipson. Nobody's talking about how good of a pickup this was. Everyone's saying that it's like a downgrade from Clinton Dix last year, and I don't understand that at all. In active players, he has the 15th most interceptions in the league. That's pretty fucking good.
Did not know that.
And most of the players above him have been in the league longer. So he's actually up there in interceptions. And he's played on bad teams like Cleveland. He did play on a good Jacksonville team. And then Houston. Houston is not known for their defense. Houston is actually the 19th ranked defense last year and only had 12 total interceptions. So he had a quarter of their team interceptions, which is really impressive for a safety to have. So I'm really looking forward to that. I did talk about Clinton Dix, and he had 2 interceptions last year, but he was on a 4th ranked defense with Khalil Mack and, the pressure that he causes and stuff like that. And when we were healthy earlier in the season, I believe is when he got those interceptions. So I don't think that actually shows how good he is. I think it shows how good the rest of our defense was. The difference in tackles is quite hefty, though. I'll give it to Clinton Dix. He had 62 solo tackles last year, whereas in Tashaun only had 37. So that could be a huge difference right there. But I do think that Tashaun can play that position because he has played strong safety in the past. He doesn't always have to play free safety. But basically, we have now 2 ball hawks back there at safety. So yeah. I'm really, really excited about adding him. I think they're not going to want to throw to either side of the field now. Before it was like, okay, you throw Clinton Dix's way when you go deep. He's not there. He's going to run downhill and try to tackle somebody because he's the strong safety. But at least with Gipson, he has the instincts to go and get the ball.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's going to be a huge thing. And, so he started in 2012. Since 2012, he's actually only started 104 games out of the 128 that he could have started. His first season, he only started 3, so that's where a lot of them are. And he did only play 14 last year. So 3 interceptions out of 14 games last year, 37 tackles. So those numbers, maybe he gets another interception, probably gets another 6 tackles. So that discrepancy between 62 and 37, I don't think is as big as it seems because he only started 14 games. He only played 14 games last year. So, those 15th most interceptions in the league with only playing 104 games in the last 8 seasons, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So no one's talking about this, but I think that's going to be our biggest change on defense that no one's talking about.
Yeah. We definitely lacked that last year, which is why we got attacked in that spot every time.
Yeah.
Either one or the other. Because they knew where to go. And hopefully by week 5 we know where they can't go and we can stop them.
Yeah, week 5 is going to be a really difficult game for our corners and our safeties for sure. So I think, having 2 ball hawk safeties,
yeah.
Kyle Fuller on one side.
I was going to say he's more like Fuller than...
Yeah. But, Eddie Jackson's also a ball hawk. So that's 3 ball hawks that we have right there. And so
no problem interchanging them.
No.
Anything.
I'm really excited about that safety ad that no one's talking about. I don't know why. He's been great since he's come into the league, and he did this on a terrible defense last year. It's hard to put up good numbers on a bad defense.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is about the Bears defense as well, those numbers might be inflated for Clinton Dix because they were always on the field. Our offense was so bad last year that they were always on the field. So his numbers and tackles were probably inflated because they were on the field way more. Houston's offense, think about how good Houston's offense was last year. Their offense stayed on the field.
Yeah.
And they still had a bad defense, and he still put up those numbers. So, I mean, there was no J.J. Watt rushing last year. He got hurt. No Jadeveon Clowney. He went to the Seahawks. So, they didn't have as much pressure as the Bears did last year, and what the Bears are going to have this year is going to be tenfold of that. So, with that type of pressure and stuff like that, we have ball hawks all over the field. So that's my guy for defensive addition this offseason.
Yeah, and I didn't know all that stuff about him, so now I'm pumped that we got him because we need to start just making smart moves, and we've been making smart moves. Picking up someone like this that no one talked about or knew about.
Yeah,
it's not even that. Just didn't pay attention to.
But that's also better for us because they're not saying like, oh wow, they added this extra key on defense. They're not even thinking about it. So no one's thinking that our defense is going to be as good as it is going to be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously they always know, Bears are going to be a top 10 defense. But I believe we're going to be a top 5 defense because all we did was upgrade from last year. So, I'm sorry. I'm really excited about this addition. But who do you have?
For me, it's not someone that's been in the league, a rookie, second-round pick, so Jaylon Johnson.
That's a ballsy choice.
It is. This dude came out of junior year playing in Utah. Not as much talk as some of the cornerbacks, defensive backs that come in the draft in the first round, and you're like, oh, this is why they're getting picked in the first round because they're first-rounders. But dude was 2-time first-team All-Pac-12. Every year he's gotten more solo tackles than the year before. Out of 38 games, he started 29. So he's got his time. He's earned his time. He's like when you start talking about this, he reminds me of a Kyle Fuller where he's got that speed.
I would love to have another Kyle Fuller.
He just has that eye, that keen eye, where he just knows where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Or even, I was going to say, well, he took Peanut Tillman's number, so yeah, a little bit like Tillman.
Did he take his number?
Number 33.
That's
he's got a lot to live up to, but also I see it in him. He's got that tenacity, which I love.
Well, he better bring back the peanut punch with that number
and
too.
And I'll tweet him. I'll try and get his number and try and influence him too because we need some of that. But I don't know. I'm more excited about the rookies this year because I know we're actually adding people that have been in the league that we know can do stuff. So. And our draft wasn't bad. I'm really happy with the way we drafted players because I feel like we took into consideration who we were going to be picking up that was already in the league.
Yeah.
We weren't rebuilding from the ground up.
Yeah.
So
we only needed a few people here and there to actually make the team.
Yeah.
Especially the defense.
With Gipson and Fuller and Eddie Jackson back, you had this guy in there. He gets to practice with them and learn from them. I think that is the best thing that could come from
Eddie Jackson's pretty new, but Tashaun is, Fuller and Tashaun have been there for a while.
They know the ropes.
Can definitely help him out.
They probably went through the same shit that he's going to go through, but now he has them to get through it, learn faster, not have to learn from 10 mistakes over, learn in 5 or 3 just by knowing what to do. So
I have a question for you, though. Do you think he's going to be better than Prince Mukamara?
Yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Prince...
Because then that means we upgrade our defense even in another spot. So.
Yeah, because Prince...
So, wow, neither of us said Robert Quinn.
I mean, that's a given. It was kind of like with Khalil, except at that point we didn't have anybody. Akeem Hicks was in,
Yeah.
We'd been battling injuries, and we got somebody that we did not think we were in the running for. So that's a totally different scenario. With Robert Quinn, we're adding to the Khalil Mack line.
Yeah.
With Akeem Hicks back. It's just, I don't know. It's not, like you said, people, they know we're going to be better because we got Quinn, but we're not talking about the other parts that make the defense full. The defense isn't just 2 or 3 players. It's a collective unit that shuts the other team down. So.
Stop. turns off, I can't believe that it shuts.
Oh. Um, with a collective defense, it's you're going to shut the other team down.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not, don't throw it deep because we can't cover it. Like, no. We got the line. We got the corners. We got the routes. We're set.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Tashaun Gipson, a rookie, Jaylon Johnson from Utah. Like, these are the pieces that are going to come together. Maybe not this year for him. He's a rookie. For him, maybe not.
All he needs to do is hold his own out there. As long as he doesn't get targeted on every play because he's the weak link in our defense.
The thing is, though, his first play, he does something good, they might be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So it's all about timing. It's all about being strategic. If he's out there and he's getting, targeted 2 or 3 times in a row, take him out. Just not because he's, but just throw some.
He's going to need the experience in there as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about the rest of our.
We got him.
But.
So I'm not too worried about him getting put in the wrong spot or being in the spotlight too much that neglects his talent, because I think he's a guy that learns from that and is going to maybe not strengthen our defense right away, but complete it to a point where we have those backups and we don't have to worry about it.
All right.
We're the Bears. We shouldn't worry about defense. So
second shot, bear down.
Bear down.
So who do you have offensively then? That you like that we got?
Again, going a different route. I know we signed a couple vets onto the team, but for me, it's our draft pick again, our number 1 draft pick, Cole Kmet, powerhouse from Notre Dame. Dude reminds me of Greg Olsen and.
Ooh, I do like that.
He reminds me of Greg Olsen and Shaheen, which we just had last year. I saw a bit of Olsen and Shaheen.
Yeah, but Shaheen, we drafted him in the 2nd round 4 years ago. He hasn't done shit. I don't know exactly how long ago it was, but he has not put up the numbers or been the player.
Well, that's why this is more exciting.
So hopefully he's more like Greg Olsen.
Years.
So hopefully he's more like Greg Olsen.
And also, no one talked about Shaheen. You had to search his highlights on YouTube for.
He doesn't have highlights. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah, for hours and scroll until you. Is this from? No, it's a different guy.
Yeah.
So you had to wait till his first season. He is coming out of Notre Dame, a football school. He's gotten time. He's gotten good coaches. He's a tank. He's 6'6", 262. He's a monster.
It's a big dude.
Try taking him down when we actually organize our routes, our runs, and our passes. Just do the slants. I think are gonna kill them this year.
I
if
hope
we
so.
throw slants to him and we have good coverage, that dude is.
Their coach also said that his speed it doesn't show up on camera,
and it doesn't make sense with his.
It doesn't show up on camera. He's a lot faster than he actually seems.
Well,
so
it's like a train. A train doesn't
really
seem like it's going that fast when it's huge, because it's huge.
Yeah.
You see a little metro train, it just zooms by. But when you're a tank, you don't feel it until you feel it. And then that's what I'm so excited for him to just do those Olsen things where he just go and you're like, no. He's gonna fucking truck through that turf. He's gonna push heads out of the way. He's
also born and raised Bears fan, so he's already got.
Yeah, he went to St.
He also
Saint
cares
Viator.
so much about he cares so much
Arlington
about
Heights, which was 30 minutes away
this
from
organization
where we lived.
and being a Bear.
And imagine we didn't play football. We played football, but imagine growing up and playing for the Bears. As much as I love the Bears, if I had played football, this would be a dream come true.
Yeah.
I would
100%.
truck through that every play like I was Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Every single time. Every single time.
At least try to, yeah. 100%.
And when you're 6'6", 260, you've got that in you. So I'm really excited to see, because I'm planning on having him for years. So I'm excited to see what he can bring. And if it's not next year, which I think it will be, it'll come. And yeah, 2 rooks.
Awesome.
2 rooks in the book. So.
Dual athlete.
Yeah.
Still did well in school, so yeah, I'm excited.
He's a smart guy too. That again, they're both smart guys. Some players, it's not that they're dumb; it's just they're more
athletic
and in tune with what happens on the field, physical wise.
Yeah.
These dudes, oh my god, I'm so excited to watch them both on both sides of the field. So that's my pick, Cole Kmet.
I've got Big Dick Nick. I'm sorry.
Nick Foles? All right.
Nick Foles.
By the way, number 85. So, just so you know. Both got good numbers.
Okay. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for Big Dick Nick. Nick Foles,
Yeah.
and this is presuming that he's going to be the starter, which I think as soon as he gets in the locker room and shows Mitch what he's packing, I think Mitch is going to immediately feel inadequate and not be able to beat him out for the starting job.
I think Mitch is going to back off for a bit, honestly.
No, but really, like I mean, no, it's.
No, I think it's smart for him to back off.
No, I mean, no, I don't want him to back off because I want that competitive drive. I want him to. I was just making a joke, but I definitely want both of them to go in competitors. They're both competitors. I want them to go into the competition competing. However, I think this is going to be our biggest change offensively because I do believe that he's going to get the starting job. And a lot of Nagy's offense revolves around the RPO. And that's exactly what Nick Foles does well. That's exactly what Mitch Trubisky does poorly.
Yeah.
Is he can't read the defense quick enough to go, okay, that guy's coming, the linebacker's coming in, I need to hand the ball off.
Yeah, you can't internalize it and execute.
Yeah, exactly.
He freaks out, and then you see him do these. We're like, what
exactly.
are you doing?
When Mitch is the best, it's him playing on instinct. It's him running the ball.
Yeah.
It's him running to the side, throwing it downfield. So when it actually comes to the technicality of RPOs and reading the defense as quickly as possible, that's not what he does well, but that is what Nick Foles does well. So I'm really excited about him being able to actually run Nagy's offense because that's where our offense failed last year. Nagy may have been running a good offense. I don't believe that his play calls were good for Mitch, but they may be. I think they're going to be a lot better for Nick Foles. Plus, look at the coaches that we have on the team now and how many people already know Nick Foles. Like everyone, like if Nick Foles was going into a brand new organization not knowing anybody, Mitch Trubisky would easily have the upper hand in winning the job. However, Nagy coached him in 2012. Bill Lazor, our offensive coordinator, was his quarterback coach in 2013, where he threw 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. For comparison, last year, Aaron Rodgers had a great year, throwing 26 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So he had an even better year than Aaron Rodgers last year in 2013.
Did we get any of those interceptions?
I do believe that we had one of those.
Yep.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we had one. And then our quarterback coach, John DiFilippo, he was his quarterback coach in 2017 when he won the Super Bowl. So he already knows all these people. Connecting all of those people from the different organizations and different time periods, it's not going to be, right away that they're going to click. But they already have so much chemistry with each other that I'm confident that Nick Foles is going to win the job. And when he does win the job, he may not be a top 10 quarterback next year. He probably won't. That's fine. If he's 11 to 15, I'm okay with that. We just need a top 15 offense.
We just need a quarterback.
If he can be a top 15 quarterback, he's going to be the biggest difference maker on the Bears. He also loves tall, big wide receivers. He loved throwing to Alshon Jeffrey. Now who's he going to be throwing to? Allen Robinson. And I'm sorry, Allen Robinson at this part in his career is better than Alshon in 2017.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. So he's going to have a better version of Alshon. And
he's more athletic.
Alshon? Or no.
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, he is. I agree with that.
He's got that
He
little
makes a lot
edge.
more
He's got
circus
that
catches,
edge.
and he's not as tall, I believe, as
he puts himself out there, which I'm not saying that
as Alshon.
Alshon did not, but he did that with Trubisky when Trubisky had nobody.
Yeah, but that's true.
Nick Foles and Allen Robinson, I think, would be deadly.
And the RPO, I think, is going to make our running game better next year, which is going to make David Montgomery better. It's going to make our wide receivers better because they're not going to know, are they running, are they throwing. And by the time they figure it out, as long as he reads the defense correctly, which he does most of the time, it's going to be too late for them. So I think he's going to make the biggest difference on the Bears this year for people that we picked up. But you guys should let us know in the comments what game you guys are most excited for next year, who you think is going to make the biggest defensive impact from somebody that we just got in this offseason, drafted, and an offensive player that we just got in the offseason or draft. So comment those below. I'd love to talk to you guys. But other than that, thanks for watching.
Yep. Catch you guys later.